Welcome to my monthly video on current Rideau Lakes issues. Your council recently made several important decisions. We finalized our official plan, and it now has county approval. This new official plan is much stronger in ensuring new development, particularly on the water, is done in an environmentally sustainable fashion. The next step in the planning process is to update our zoning bylaw. Public participation in those planning processes was and will continue to be a priority. As well, Council recently made several decisions about the rules and regulations governing future creation or expansion of campgrounds. An interim control bylaw was passed last August and will be extended for 6 months to ensure that the proposed new rules can be rolled into the zoning bylaw and official plan. No new expansion or creation of campgrounds can occur while an interim control bylaw is in place. The Planning Advisory Committee of Council over the last year have considered an exhaustive list of possible approaches to regulating campgrounds. We have sought feedback from residents and campground owners through numerous public sessions, roundtables, campground tours, and direct dialogue. Striking the right balance for the community is critical. Our policies must also be supported by strong planning arguments, or the township will be legally challenged on this issue. While spatial separation between campgrounds and caps on the maximum size of campgrounds were not supported, Council will advance maximum trailer sizes, larger minimum site sizes, increased setbacks to neighbors, and improved site regulation via lot coverage provisions. These policies will control overall density in campgrounds and provide much clearer rules for any future growth. While the above issues are important, my focus today is to provide clarity on another recent council decision, namely the relocation of the soon-to-be-built new fire station. Citizens may recall that in December, our Portland-based fire station number 2 was lost in a fire, along with 3 fire vehicles and all operating equipment housed thereon. The township's insurance policies provide for full replacement of the building, vehicles, and equipment. The vehicles and much of the operational equipment has now been procured and loaner vehicles have been returned. I stand before you today in front of one of these brand new units. The last step is to rebuild the station building itself. The township will be entering the design and tendering process this summer and fall, with a construction start hoped for in the spring of 2023. Temporary facilities have to date been on an ad hoc basis to ensure area coverages was uninterrupted. As winter approaches and the tied up public works garage spaces are needed again, a consolidated temporary building will be built at the Portland Transfer Station this fall. This temporary measure is also covered by our insurance policies. As we look forward, Council earlier this summer unanimously voted to build the replacement station near the corner of Highway 15 and Otter Lake Road. This is opposite Lombard Manor, one of our township's most vulnerable occupancies should there be a fire. Not surprisingly, some township residents have questioned the decision to rebuild outside of the village of Portland. In defense of the unanimous decision, I would note some of the following. Municipal policy decisions should consider the wider public interest, and the South Elmsley ward, while the township's most populated and fastest growing ward, does not have a fire station. Many of the parts of the township are also not within 8 kilometers of a fire station. These include a number of villages, including Newborough, Chaffee's Lock, Lombardy, and others. The proposed station number 2 does not represent a reduction in service levels for Portland, an area. Service levels are variable based on call time and availability of volunteers to respond. The new station will assist also in the recruitment of new volunteers, given its proximity to higher growing residential and employment areas in our township. The new station will improve coverage to a large portion of our township and will reduce overlap of coverage areas. The new location will also allow Rideau Lakes to revise its fire response policy with Smith Falls and save considerable on this currently over $70,000 per year cost. The location for the new station is being purchased for $180,000, and this is not covered by insurance. The parcel size is 5 acres and its location may stimulate future redevelopment of the abandoned Skylark gas bar which adjoins this property. The decision is therefore strategic and long-term in nature. I understand that some individuals have targeted our fire chief and his family business in Portland for criticism. This is unacceptable. The decision to relocate the Portland Fire Station further down Highway 15 was made with advice from an independent consultant and with input from our chief. The department's membership has also indicated broad support for this location. The responsibility for the decision was with council, and I commend all of council for looking at this issue from a township-wide perspective rather than a ward or tradition-based decision. Change is never easy. I am reminded that some in the Lombardy area were similarly concerned when council opted to relocate our OPP satellite detachment to Portland. In much the same way, council made this decision strategically and in the best interests of the township as a whole, and experience suggests that it was the right decision. Over time, I look forward to a new modern fire station that will serve our township for years to come and house these three new pieces of equipment that we've obtained. Thank you, stay safe, enjoy your summer in Rideau Lakes, and take in some of the awesome Canada Day events.